One minute I was fine. The next, it was like I had been drugged. My living room felt as if I was on some extreme ride at the fair. Nausea ripped through my chest and stomach as I realized I was losing control of my body. It was as if someone had turned my hands and legs into rubber. And the headache. Oh, Lord, that headache was about to kill me. I stumbled upon the carpet and the chair, smashing my wife's favorite china and stepping over little Sam's beloved electric car. I tried to stand still, but my mind didn't seem to care. No matter how hard I tried to grab onto something, I fell over the glass table in the living room. I felt every sharp piece of shattered glass cutting through my face until I blacked out. Before it all went dark, I could hear only the desperate cries of my confused grandson. But there was nothing I could do. It was the most terrifying experience of my life. Honestly, I should have been dead by now. But thank God I've realized that this was not just a simple vertigo episode. Actually, it's precisely because I did not ignore my dizziness, headaches, and nausea that I can stand straight in front of you today and warn you of how dangerous and life-threatening these signs are, and also share the inexpensive and simple solution that can erase any sign of vertigo in just 10 seconds a day. A method so revolutionary that it is rumored to be used religiously by astronauts for dealing with extreme dizziness in space missions. The same method is now shifting medical perspectives on how the human body works and the real root cause of vertigo. What's even more amazing is that you can do it from the comfort of your own home. Listen, I know you've probably heard it all before, that your dizziness, it's not dangerous, it's just a normal part of aging. It happens to lots of people from time to time. You probably convinced yourself that it's nothing. Really, that's serious. But deep down inside, you can feel it, like how I felt it. It's not just that you feel like the room is spinning, it's that you are literally losing control over your body. Tell me how someone can think that it can be nothing serious. Instead, as a recent controversial MRI from the Himalayan Institute of Medical Sciences has shown, vertigo is caused by something deeply disturbing that is spreading from brain cell to brain cell, poisoning your gray matter and leaving you exposed to many other disorders, such as memory loss, tinnitus, or fatigue. So if you're dealing with dizziness, unexplainable lightheadedness, headaches, or confusion, either if this happens often or just once or twice per month, please don't ignore it. Even though the medical community refuses to admit, there is now clear proof that no less than 87% of Americans have this ticking time bomb in their system. The good news is once you find out where vertigo really comes from, not only will you have the power to completely erase any sign of dizziness, confusion, or brain fog, but you'll also be able to move as much and as fast as you want without fearing for a single second about the next step you take. It doesn't matter if you're 40, 55, or 70 years old. It doesn't matter how long you've been trying to get rid of dizziness and fatigue, if you are suffering from mild vertigo or severe attacks. Nor does it matter what your medical condition is. In the next 5 minutes, you'll discover why astronauts never get dizzy or experience vertigo, even though they float or spin around at high speeds. Hint, they follow a special procedure before their missions. The simple test you can do at home to find out exactly what causes your dizziness and brain fog. The one medical solution you should never accept when it comes to vertigo, no matter what experts say. The disturbing thing that happens in your brain years before your first vertigo attacks, and why you should not waste one more second ignoring your dizziness. And how the discovery of a renegade doctor's secret laboratory led me to the dirt-cheap solution that I'm about to share with you today. It's absolutely crucial you stick with me until the very end of my story. This information might save your life or the life of your loved ones. Just imagine never being at risk of falling down without a warning, or God forbid, break a bone or get a severe head injury. Never feeling like a disabled person who needs to be catered to because you can't even lift your head from the pillow without being sick. Instead, being able to get up and walk without anxiety, straight and proud, just like you did in your 20s. Completely independent to go any place you want and do the things you've always wanted to do. Driving your car again without the terror of killing someone in traffic if you get confused. Taking a nice soaking bath without constantly worrying that if the dizziness starts again, you might not be able to get out of there. Going for long walks in the park, or even running after your grandchildren and playing whatever game they want, and not wasting a single moment of your free time, but enjoying every single day to the fullest, just like 157,600 other people did. People like Sally J.K., 67, from Scranton, Pennsylvania, who says, "I was so scared when I had my first vertigo attack. I had had some dizzy spells here and there, but falling down the stairs and dislocating my hip joint, that was terrifying. I started contemplating that since I was injuring myself, I would inevitably end up in a nursing home. The thought was unbearable. Now, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief. Every day I feel better and better. Thank you, Jim." Or Bobby Jackson, 58, from Springfield, Illinois, who wrote to us, "I was an army man. It felt like the end of the world when my body stopped listening to me. I just couldn't accept that I have to live in fear and always watch my step. Good thing my wife insisted on me trying out your solution. Now I feel like myself again. My ear ringing and headaches are gone too. They were driving me insane. Keep up the good work, Jim." Or Greta, 63, from Rochester, New York, who says, "I can drive again, and I can go to the supermarket alone again without my husband or children calling every 5 minutes to check up on me. I feel young, energized, and powerful again. I am as hopeful as I was when I was 20. These are just a couple of the hundreds of messages from people just like you, people who have already used the 10-second method I'm about to share. Now, before I give you all the details in the next couple of minutes, I want you to know who I am and why my inexpensive discovery shook the medical industry to its core while saving thousands of honest Americans the pain and money of going through useless and potentially risky treatments and therapies. My name is Jim Benson. I'm 67 years old, and I live with my wife Alma in a small village next to Memphis, Tennessee. 2 years ago, after 45 years of hard work as an electrician, time came for me to finally retire. Both I and my wife Alma could barely wait to see our lifelong dream come true, a well-deserved holiday in the Caribbean. We'd been sacrificing a lot over time to save money for it, and it was getting so close we couldn't believe it. Unfortunately, little did we know back then that life had other plans for us, or that my job as an electrician would take me in one of the strangest places ever, a place where I would come across the simple method that is now changing the lives of so many people. You see, after the age of 55 or so, I started getting dizzy every now and then, especially when I got up too fast. I always thought it's because I lacked some vitamins, or because, at my age, I was no spring chicken. Over time, my dizzy spells became more frequent or lasted longer, from 1 or twice a week to almost every day, even when I was sitting down and doing nothing but watching TV. Still, I didn't worry. I had other things on my mind, so I just ignored them. What was bothering me more were my headaches, or the annoying ringing in my left ear. I heard every now and then, especially at night. Back then, I couldn't possibly imagine everything was connected. But one morning, everything took a turn for the worst. It was Saturday, and my daughter had just left off little Sam, our grandson, at our place. We were playing hide and seek together, one of our favorite games. One minute I was fine, ready to uncover Sam's hiding place. The next, the room started spinning around me over and over again. A nauseating feeling ripped through my chest and stomach, followed by a throbbing headache and splitting migraine. Grandpa, are you okay? I could hear my grandson's trembling voice, but I couldn't answer. My mind was so foggy, like I had forgotten every word I knew. I could tell that something very wrong was about to happen to me. I wanted to reassure my grandson that I was okay. I didn't want him to see me like this, but it was too late. My body already felt like tall grass in a strong wind. My legs didn't feel like my legs anymore. I fell over on the glass table in the living room. Sharp pieces of shattered glass cut through my face and body until I blacked out in a puddle of blood under the eyes of my little nephew. I woke up in the ER, my wife yelling at the doctor. I was covered in bandages, cuts everywhere. Still, the doctor was trying to tell my wife that it was nothing, just a vertigo attack. Furious, my wife demanded to know what was happening, but no one could give her any straight answers. Nothing was physically wrong with me. All they did was prescribe some vitamins and tell me to rest and take better care of myself. I was dumbfounded. How could they tell me there was nothing wrong with me? I was covered in bandages like a mummy, and the vertigo attack had taken me to hell and back. After getting out of the hospital, we decided to postpone our dream holiday to the Caribbean in order for my wounds to heal. I took my vitamins, I rested, I did everything the doctor ordered. Still, my insomnia and migraines kept worsening, while my tinnitus got louder and louder until after 2 weeks, I got another vertigo attack, and it lasted twice as long. Listen, I'm a grown man. I have raised a family and have never needed the help of anyone, but this terrified me. I felt like a scared little child. Not only did the vertigo attack strike out of the blue, turning me into a confused, wobbling vegetable, but I was also dealing with insomnia, pulsating migraines, and my tinnitus got worse by the day. I couldn't rest. I couldn't watch TV or carry a normal conversation. I couldn't focus on anything, and I kept getting bruises from bumping into objects. That's when Alma decided to baby-proof the apartment and cover every sharp edge. She put little animal-shaped protections on all the corners of the furniture. She even installed a baby gate at the top of the stairs in case I tumbled down, and a chromed handle next to the toilet so that I can sit without falling over with my pants around my ankles. I knew she meant well, but I never felt so humiliated in my own home. On the other hand, who could blame her? I was always walking next to a wall just to make sure I had something to lean against. We were so desperate, we ended up spending all of our savings on doctor's appointments, tests, MRI scans, and treatments. They checked my ears, my eyes, my neck, and they run multiple balance tests. They scanned my brain. They drained me of blood, and I peed in jars more times than I can count. After all these, they still couldn't tell what was wrong with me. All I got after each medical visit was another expensive, useless pill. The cheapest ones were $50 a bottle, and all they did were give me a dry mouth, blurred vision, and get this, even more dizziness. When I asked my pharmacist why my vertigo meds caused me the exact problem they should treat, dizziness, he said that because they are strong, it can take the body months until it gets used to processing them. Until then, the entire system is confused. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Next, my ENT doctor recommended a set of walking canes. They cost me a few $100s. I felt like an old man, and the truth is, they were pointless in case of severe attacks. As for alternative treatments, acupressure, vitamins, teas, water under the bridge. They had a relaxing effect, sure, but no more than that. All that was left for me to try was surgery. Now, please, pay close attention because your doctor might not tell you this. First, when it comes to vertigo surgeries, the success rate is incredibly small. It works for just a few people. Secondly, the risks are huge. You can get face paralysis or lose your hearing permanently because it targets the nerves that link your brain to your ear. For me, it was out of the question. I didn't have the money. The intervention costs at least 20 grand. Plus, as all the doctors said, there was nothing physically wrong with me. Still, my attacks lasted longer and longer, even for hours or days in a row. I never knew when they were going to happen or when they were going to stop. So I had to take the hardest decision: buy and use a wheelchair. To this day, my eyes tear up when I remember the moment. My children didn't trust me with Sam anymore, and who could blame them? I was like an accident about to happen. I could fall unconscious and lose sight of my grandson at any time. Anything from a knife to a pan with hot oil could become a dangerous weapon in my hands because I had no control over it. I was a burden and a danger to myself and to others. We had to cancel our long-awaited holiday, and I had the life of a disabled person, even though doctors claimed I was healthy. Seeing myself like that, bound to a wheelchair, I knew I'd hit rock bottom. My insomnia got worse. It only gave me more hours in the day to worry about what was going to happen to me. Was this my life now? What else could possibly happen to me? My wife, always worried and exhausted, taking care of me day after day. Tears filled her eyes every time she saw me, confused and nauseated. She wasn't getting any younger either. At her age, she surely deserved to rest and enjoy her retirement, and so did I. I was so angry. Everything was so unfair. We didn't deserve this. No one deserved it. I had to do something. I sure wasn't going to stand back and watch how my mental health and my body were collapsing. I wasn't going to be a burden to my family or, God forbid, end up in a nursing home at 60. I had to find a solution, one that didn't require doctors or pills, because I knew damn well that road was a painful dead end. Their medical treatments did nothing except drain the life out of you. So one night, I got in front of the computer and started my quest, reading everything I could find on Vertigo, from scientific materials to people's stories on forums. One time, during a break, I saw a documentary where astronauts were spinning at high speeds in their rotating space simulators. One particular question popped into my mind: why do fighter pilots or astronauts never experience vertigo in space, even though they float, spin, etc., around at high speeds? I mean, if my vertigo came from nothing, how come there were people who didn't get vertigo no matter what they did? What was their secret? So I began reading about how astronauts prepare for their space mission and all of the tests they go through, until one article drew my attention specifically. As you might know, millions of dollars are invested in space missions. So the last thing a government wants is for the astronauts to get sick during their mission. It would be like throwing piles of money and years and even decades of training out the window. That's why 2 weeks before the launch, astronauts are required to isolate and fully detox their bodies to make sure everything goes smoothly. What caught my eye was the fact that they make sure to get rid of ototoxins. After a bit of research, I discovered that ototoxins are chemicals that are found in most common medications, like painkillers, antibiotics, anxiety, or sleep pills. Then, jumping from study to study, I came across a statistic that blew my mind. 40% of the people reported dizziness, nausea, and vertigo attacks after taking ototoxic meds. I felt like I was onto something. So from that point on, I became obsessed with these chemicals, and I started digging through hundreds of papers, articles, and books, devouring every piece of information I came across. Night after night, I read about how they affected the human body, looking into every possible side effect until I discovered the breakthrough study that would change everything. Even though it was written black on white, I still couldn't believe my eyes when I read that vertigo caused by a form of brain poisoning with ototoxins. According to recent research from the Department of Pharmacology, Himalayan Institute of Medical Sciences, there's a hidden menace when it comes to taking popular meds. These medications are filled with ototoxins that get stuck in the body indefinitely because our organism doesn't know how to process them and flush them away. Just like small clogs formed over the years, the internal buildup of ototoxins blocks your brain networks. This leads to brain inflammation and confuses the brain cells, preventing them from functioning properly. Next thing, the brain becomes unable to communicate with the eyes, ears, and body muscles. Any signal is blocked or messed up by the ototoxin clogs. Therefore, the stuck ototoxins are interfering with the balance system, disturbing the brain, ears, eyes coordination. While your brain is inflamed and dizzy, your body has no idea what to do as the messages it receives are not clear. If you're wondering whether your vertigo is caused by your brain being poisoned with ototoxins, answer this simple question. Have you taken cold medicine or antibiotics at least once in your life? If the answer is yes, then the chances are very high. Take a quick look. These are just a few of the well-documented articles that point out how dangerous common cold medicine or antibiotics can be. Since otomeds are common medications like aspirin or ibuprofen, most people have ototoxins in their system. In fact, research shows no less than 87% of Americans took over-the-counter ototoxin meds at least once in their life. The worst part is you can never know how badly they can affect you. Some people can flush them out more than others. But there's a chance that even a few aspirin throughout your lifetime has created a buildup that could cripple your entire system. And their name does not appear on the pill's packages. This makes them even more dangerous, as you don't even know what to look out for. But if you're curious, you can find lists on the internet that include some of the medical brands' names. I can't list all of these meds here because there's nothing more that Big Pharma would love than to be able to sue me, put me in jail, and silence me forever. I, for one, sure knew ototoxins were the root cause of my vertigo. Not only because I had taken at least 3 ototoxin meds several times over the years, but because I also suffered from other side effects of these chemicals: tinnitus, memory loss, and brain fog. That's right, more and more studies point out that ototoxic poisoning can also lead to memory loss, tinnitus, and even permanent hearing loss. The more I read, the more anxious I got. But one thing was clear. If I managed to clear my brain and body of ototoxins, my brain would sync in perfect harmony with my balance system. But how could I do that? Once again, I was stuck. I realized I needed help, and not just any help. I needed an expert, but who? I for sure didn't trust any of the doctors I knew. I kept thinking and running through my Rolodex over and over again until I remembered the most weird gig I had as an electrician. The second I thought of this, my mind cleared. It was as if a big warning sign went off in my head, pointing to this moment, saying that I should pay attention. Despite not having been able to focus on anything for more than 5 minutes at a time, this memory popped into my mind crystal clear, even though 10 years had passed. You see, one time I had to go to the house of a certain Dr. M. More specifically, the lights in his basement were broken. Nothing out of the ordinary, right? That's what I thought until I went down the stairs and realized his basement was actually a huge 27-foot lab filled with all sorts of machineries, potions, and herbs. My jaw dropped when I saw it. Everything looked just like in the movies, and I was probably acting out like a kid who had just stumbled upon a secret hiding place. After I fixed what needed to be fixed, Dr. M, a 60-year-old elegant man, served me the most delicious tea I drank in my entire life. Mr. Benson, I would greatly appreciate it if you wouldn't tell anybody about what you saw here today. I immediately assured him that I respect my clients and it's none of my business what is happening inside their houses. That's good to hear. I really want to keep a low profile. You see, Dr. M had been a well-known, successful doctor back in the days, only he had decided to abandon the medical system, which seemed more and more a business than a noble cause. How else could someone explain the fact that so-called specialists leave you with 5 new health issues after just one visit? I knew what he was talking about all too well. Back then, my wife was dealing with migraines that kept her in bed for hours in a row. So I told him about her problem and about how every doctor sent her to 3 other doctors while shoving painkillers down her throat with no results. Hearing my story, he sighed heavily. As it turned out, the last straw for him was some inside information that he accidentally came across during an exclusive medical conference. He didn't get into much detail, but I understood it was something about opioids, addiction, and their synthetic ingredients. Considering the fact that just in 2019, nearly 50,000 people in the United States died from opioid-involved overdoses, he clearly overheard something horrible, something that made him resign and isolate from the medical community the very next day. But even without a white robe, you know what they say, once a doctor, always a doctor. So he decided to get back to the basics, find natural remedies, no chemicals, no side effects. That's what he was doing 12 hours a day inside his secret lab. He filled a small bottle with a mix of herbs, saying my wife should take 1 small spoon for her headaches every day for at least 10 days. Moreover, it was crucial that she stop taking painkillers immediately. The herbs worked so well that my wife never complained about migraines or even minor headaches again. I was convinced he was a real genius when it came to natural treatments. You can understand why I decided to call him, hoping that even though 10 years had gone by, he was still working in his big laboratory. I felt blessed when he answered the phone and very surprised when he remembered my name. Hearing that I had something extremely important to show him, he invited me to his place the next day. The second I saw him, I started talking ceaselessly, confessing everything I'd been going through and going over my entire research. Mr. Benson, I have to say I am very impressed with your research. What you are telling me is that vertigo is like a side effect that never went away because the body could not get rid of the chemicals in the meds. I completely agree. Dr. M believed that once you flush away the chemical toxins from the brain, the side effects will vanish like it never existed. I could see he was very impressed with my story and my desperate search. It was a no-brainer for him to join me. He couldn't wait to solve this medical mystery with me and stick it to Big Pharma in the process. From that moment, we worked night after night, testing until dawn, herbs, roots, and leaves from all over the world. While he was working on the formula, I was writing emails and making phone calls to make sure we get the purest ingredients as fast as possible. We made sure that we got the right quantities and the most effective combination of ingredients until we finally created that all-powerful, 100% natural, detoxifying, and highly active supplement. By now, you must be very curious and anxious to find out what this ultimate solution contains. And most importantly, how does it work and why does it work so incredibly well? Well, let me show you how we stumbled onto each ingredient. Every single one of them was a little eureka moment we had together, and it was the most satisfying journey I ever undertook in my life. Here's a short step-by-step explanation of the effects they have on your brain, balance, system, and body. Step 1, rapid stabilization. Stop the dangerous inflammation and cool your brain networks. In order for a complete recovery to start, you need first to fix the most critical issue, brain inflammation. Once you do this, the brain cells can properly communicate with your eyes, ears, and muscles again and sync with the balance system. Please note that each of the following herbs, vitamins, and minerals comes in an advanced bioabsorbable form that allows the body to suck them like a dry sponge and to use them to their fullest potential. First, milk thistle, an herb so powerful it has been used as a treatment for chronic memory problems for over 2 centuries. In fact, a 2012 study found that the active ingredient in milk thistle, silymarin, dramatically reduces brain inflammation and stops cognitive decline. Moreover, milk thistle protects your memory by preventing the formation of amyloid plaque, a sticky protein that can accumulate in the brain and nervous system, degrading the brain networks. Even though milk thistle seems to grow everywhere, don't let yourself be fooled by common supplements. Milk thistle is native to the Mediterranean countries, so only the herbs coming from that specific region have these strong properties. For example, our milk thistle is so efficient because it's directly sourced from Portugal. Let's move to banaba, a tree native to tropical Southeast Asia, also known as the pride of India. This tree is special because it can erase chronic inflammation. It has antiviral and antibacterial properties, keeping not only chemicals, but also viruses at bay. If you heard of free radicals before, you know they are responsible for the aging and damaging of the brain cells. Sadly, there's a clear link between ototoxins and free radical multiplication. One of these reasons we chose to add banaba leaves is because they contain a rare type of antioxidants that can neutralize those free radicals on the spot. Next, berberine, a bioactive compound that can be extracted from several different plants. For our formula, we decided to extract it from a group of Japanese shrubs called berberis. The potency of berberine consists in the fact that it can quickly pass the blood barrier brain, which means it gets to your brain cells incredibly fast. Tested in hundreds of studies and called by researchers the metabolic switch, it can reduce inflammation and infection overnight while adjusting the brain's chemical reactions and protecting it against damage. Step 2, total deep cleanse. Completely detoxify and power up against ototoxins and chemicals. It's time to flush away the vertigo-causing ototoxins. This is where ALA, or alpha lipoic acid, comes in. ALA is an organic compound that should normally be found in the core of our cells, providing energy and protecting them against attackers. Only our processed foods nowadays provides little of this miracle-working ingredient. Plus, as you get older, your body eats up the reserves of ALA faster as it needs more of it to fight old age disorders. 11 studies from prestigious institutions like the School of Life Sciences and the Department of Nuclear Medicine from the Kyungpook National University have revealed ALA as the ototoxin cleanser. ALA also can eliminate mercury and significantly slow down memory loss disorders. A good ALA supplement can pack up to 1,000 times more alpha lipoic acid than food sources. However, we cannot vouch for any supplement from the local stores, only for our formula, as it's especially created to counteract higher levels of ototoxins. We've discovered that ALA is extremely powerful when combined with zinc and green tea. Both of them have been proven to directly attack ototoxins and evacuate them from your brain and body. Our zinc is sourced from organic pine nuts, and because it has the ability to improve the brain blood flow, which in turn speeds up the detoxification and repairs the cells at the same time. As for green tea, there are 7 varieties, but only Camellia sinensis in its most concentrated form can counteract ototoxins in real time. Step 3, brain cell recovery. Erase the damage caused by ototoxins and rejuvenate your brain cells. Now that your body and brain are free of any harmful chemical, we can undo the damage that ototoxins cause to your cells. We use 2 star ingredients for this: resveratrol and chromium. Resveratrol is a plant compound that acts like an age-defying antioxidant. During an Australian experiment on 129 volunteers, resveratrol turned back the clock on brain aging and cellular damage by as much as a decade. In order to make sure we make the most out of this unique compound, we've sourced it from a mix of wild berries. Now, moving on to chromium, although an essential mineral, it is found in very small amounts in food. No wonder 90% of Americans are low in chromium. Adding to that fact that vertigo can seriously affect your mental health and clarity, we decided it was absolutely necessary to add it to our formula. It gets you rid of brain fog, anxiety, and depression while boosting your energy levels and helping you think faster. Step 4, steel defense. Bulletproof against dangerous chemicals and prevent vertigo, nausea, and brain fog. This is the moment when we help your body create its own defense mechanism and become immune to the dangerous side effects of ototoxins. You can see it as installing a super immune system for your body. We've used a one-of-a-kind duo for this: Korean ginseng and cayenne pepper. Korean ginseng keeps your cells young by speeding up regeneration. It boosts your immune system significantly over a short period of time and is used to treat chronic tinnitus. In addition, It lowers your fatigue levels so your body can react quicker to any threat. A study gave 364 cancer survivors experiencing fatigue 2,000 milligrams of ginseng or a placebo. After 8 weeks, those in the ginseng group had significantly lower fatigue levels than those in the placebo group. The most important thing to remember when it comes to ginseng is that it needs to be harvested between 4 and 6 years. No sooner, no later. Last but not least, cayenne pepper doubles the power of Korean ginseng. It increases the speed of immune cells, rapidly transporting them to sites of infection, obliterating potentially dangerous toxins or viruses. Furthermore, it relieves pain, chasing away migraines and earaches. If these ingredients were extremely powerful by themselves, we could only imagine what happened when you combine them in a 100% natural yet potent mix. After putting the last touches, I was the very first one to try the formula. I just had to take one supplement every morning with a big glass of water. Piece of cake, really. In the first days, nothing really happened. My nausea and dizziness were still there. I was a bit discouraged, I have to admit. But Dr. M and Alma were there to lift my spirit. But when I woke up one day, something had clearly changed. First of all, a few days had passed with no vertigo attacks. Sure, I still had to deal with brain fog and confusion, but not having to deal with vertigo attacks was a blessing in itself. Seeing things were going well, I decided to give up the wheelchair. Alma just couldn't believe her eyes when she saw me standing up without feeling the room spin and walking from one side of the room to the other, straight, without losing my balance for a second. Then the next week, a miracle happened. We went for a 2-hour walk. No wheelchair, no crane. I walked confidently with my head up, praising God and thanking Dr. M at the same time. Shortly after that, my ear ringing also faded away. Seeing my progress, we posted an announcement and gathered a list of 45 people from Dr. M's list of patients who suffered from various forms of vertigo, from mild dizziness to severe attacks, and asked them to discreetly test our side effect-free organic formula. They each received a daily report form to follow their progress. I was prepared to wait at least 2 weeks for the initial reports to come back. But what happened exceeded even our wildest dreams. Even after a couple of days, we were getting call after call from everyone in the study claiming they could move without any worry. Well, Dr. M and I were shocked, even more shocked, at how well I was feeling. No headaches, no dizziness, and my mind felt brand new. My memory was better. I could think clearly. I could do hard crossword puzzles, carry on long conversations. Faster than I thought, I was regaining complete control over my body, my brain, and my life. It was like my vertigo was never there. One day I went for a jog. Another day I drove for 1 hour straight. I even played with my nephew and jumped on a trampoline with him. I felt completely normal again. I could go wherever I wanted and do whatever I wanted without needing any assistance from my family. When we went to collect the final reports from the other subjects in our initial study, the results we saw were astounding. Not a single person reported vertigo symptoms. Most of them had said they had more energy and that they could think more clearly. But the side effect that we really didn't expect was this. The patients who experienced any sort of tinnitus, ear ringing, roaring, or whooshing told us it got less intense by the day. Some of them even claimed it disappeared completely. To think that all they had to do was to use a pain-free natural supplement. All in all, it was clear we couldn't keep this life-saving treatment all to ourselves, especially since everyone kept asking us for more of our magic pills for them and for their close ones. We surely needed to make our discovery accessible to as many people as possible. After all, our formula was a work of art, highly absorbable and side effect free, but also powerful enough to fight the ototoxins. More importantly, the mix fights all conditions. For example, some people might suffer from chronic disorders. This means the intake of meds can be even higher than 1 to 2 pills per day, though some of those meds might contain ototoxins. We can't deny that they are still doing their job and have beneficial aspects for your illnesses. Our detox formula, besides helping you flush out the buildup of ototoxins currently poisoning your brain and body, also neutralizes the toxic effect of any other ototoxins you'll inadvertently ingest with your meds. So you won't need to worry about ototoxin poisoning anymore. As long as you keep taking the supplement, you'll be safe. At the same time, this doesn't mean you'll have to take the supplement for the rest of your life. On the contrary, just a couple of bottles or more, depending on the internal level of ototoxins present, can help your body create its own defense mechanisms and become immune to the dangerous side effects of modern meds. However, our enthusiasm was curbed by a new problem. If we were to produce the formula ourselves, we had to spend days trying to source the purest ingredients from all over the world and thousands of dollars to buy them. Then, weeks to extract them from plants. At the end, we had to adjust the ratios with incredible precision. The result, we would have enough natural pills to last 30 people for a week or so. We needed a much better plan. We thought that if we bought the ingredients in bulk and contacted a large, modern, yet discreet manufacturing facility in the USA that could take care of everything, we could produce this potent mixture in the quantity we wanted and in the form of an organic supplement. So we started our chase for manufacturing facilities. When it came to the quality of ingredients and herbs, I had one non-negotiable request. They needed to be the real thing, pure, sourced from local growers that let plants naturally reach their full maturity and use no herbicides. 100% effective, prepared the right way and in the right amount in order to keep their properties intact. Safe, processed under strict sterile standards with regularly disinfected equipment. You wouldn't believe how many counterfeits are out on the market. I remember we jumped for joy when we found a facility that was both FDA registered and GMP certified, that had a high-level disinfection policy to keep any germs or viruses at bay. Since the proprietary blend was 100% natural, I didn't have to wait for approval to make the first batch. We called it Claritox Pro, the only 100% natural blend that addresses the root causes of vertigo, dizziness, and brain fog, the harmful ototoxins present in nearly all current drugs. We sourced the purest, highest quality 16 plant extracts and vitamins and put the exact quantities into a 100% safe detoxifying supplement. Every single natural pill is manufactured in the USA in our FDA approved and GMP certified facility under sterile, strict and precise standards. We are regularly disinfecting the equipment used to process the ingredients and package our bottles. Claritox Pro is non-GMO and safe. It does not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins and is not habit-forming. And even though erasing the effects of ototoxins and getting rid of vertigo and panic attacks is as easy as ABC, the formula is more powerful than any other pills or intervention out there, because it does not only target every single trace that the poisonous ototoxins have left in your body while clearing up your brain cells of inflammation and strengthening your mind. It also fights tinnitus, memory loss, depression, keeping you mentally sharp well into old age, without you needing to pay a single penny on treatments or intervention that barely have any effect. 157,600 people and counting have already rejuvenated their brain with Claritox Pro. People like Susan S., 68, from Memphis, Tennessee, who wrote us, "Not only did my nauseating vertigo episodes disappear, but my memory is better too. I feel like my thinking is sharper and I can focus more easily." Tom Sr., 59, from Hampton, Virginia, who says, "It's like my brain has been replaced overnight. No more migraines, no more brain fog, no more dizziness. My mind is clear and I am way more relaxed." SJ, 49, from Tampa, Florida, who wrote, "I feel alive again. It's all I can say. Like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I have more energy and I am planning hikes again. I hope more people get healthy." All you have to do in order to experience the same amazing results in your brain health is to start using this ultra-absorbable and convenient supplement as soon as possible. The solution is much simpler than you'd think, and you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. Now, knowing all of this, it's obvious why Claritox Pro dominates any other option in fixing dizziness, vertigo attacks. Nothing else out there proved to work long term. Instead, Claritox Pro is a completely natural and 100% effective way of destroying the ototoxins that are slowly poisoning your brain and confusing your balance system, sentencing you to risky injuries and disability. Of course, you could put your hopes into vertigo medications, but let's be honest, the common side effects of these medications are horrendous. Dry mouth, blurred vision, nausea and vomiting, and ironically enough, confusion and dizziness. These pills give you the exact problems that they should treat. You could trust the medical system and say yes to one of those costly, cutting-edge surgeries. But these operations are almost always useless. More importantly, it's scary to learn how often this type of surgeries lead to serious hearing loss, even total deafness, damage to the inner ear, infections, or other complications. Please do everything in your power to stay away from surgeries. Listen, if your doctor is truly honest, he or she will tell you that very few people benefit from vertigo medications and surgery. They won't get you well in a million years because they are powerless against the real root cause of your vertigo. Unlike Claritox Pro, that can get the job done in less than a few weeks while keeping your brain cells sharp and safe from other disorders. Now you might be ready to say yes to this huge change to the quality of your life. But you might be worried about the cost of all this. Well, don't worry. I get it. I was concerned too when we started out. The cost for all of these ingredients, plus the production, was too big to even mention. Most people could not have afforded it, but we got others to help out. We scraped every bit of savings left, and we made it. After that, we asked ourselves, how much would it be worth for someone to be in full control of the way they feel and look? No fears, no health risks, and all your friends and family amazed by how energetic and focused you are. Just take a second. Imagine how much that would be worth. $100,000? $10,000? $5,000? Even though Dr. M recommended we sell a 30-day supply of Claritox Pro for no less than $97, considering the 2 years of research, work, and tests that we invested in this perfectly concentrated formula, and even though my wife suggested $597, seeing how I'm a whole new person now, well, our suppliers would have asked for $397 just for the high quality of the ingredients. And even though many of the 157,600 people who got to experience Claritox Pro said they would gladly pay triple, thinking how pleasantly easy it is to use, this isn't about money for me. I'll never forget what I felt when I was unable to control my body, tripping all over the house, falling all over the glass table, bleeding under the terrified looks of my little grandson. Nor will I forget the constant terror of knowing I am prone to serious injuries that can lead to permanent disability at any second, or the endless, gruesome vertigo attacks that kept me bound to a wheelchair. I never want anyone to feel as angry and helpless as I did. That's why I'll never ask for $597 or $397 or half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep the site running for as long as I can. Even though I'll have to charge $99 for one bottle of Claritox Pro soon, and one bottle is surely a lot less than a visit to the doctor, and you don't run the risk of nausea or confusion as it's 100% side effect free. Only while this website remains online, which may not be that long given the incredible threat it poses to big pharmaceutical companies and opioid manufacturers, you can get your very own 30-day supply of Claritox Pro for a one-time, 100% risk-free investment of $69. That's right, just $69. And that's not all. If you order 3 or 6 months package, we'll give you an even bigger discount. Here's why. Both I and Dr. M have seen the effects of Claritox Pro on lots of patients and have run a lot of tests. That's why we recommend you take the supplement at least 90 days, just to be 100% sure it clears out a big chunk of the stuck ototoxins. Honestly, we cannot estimate exactly how many chemicals have accumulated at this point, nor how many ototoxins are blocked inside your body, confusing your balance system and causing brain inflammation. This depends on many factors, like on the strength of your immune system, what medications you've been on, and by now, your lifestyle choices. That's why, as a rule of thumb, after seeing the positive results of more than 157,600 people, we recommend you take at the very least 3 bottles, especially since it could take more than 75 days to make sure your entire brain and body are completely detoxified and clean. Also, 3 bottles bulletproof your entire system against ototoxins, strengthen your brain cells, and have the power to eliminate tinnitus, brain fog, and headaches. Or if you want to turn back the clock on all your brain networks, protect yourself against memory disorders, anxiety, and depression, while enjoying a clear mind at any age, 6 bottles of Claritox Pro are all you need. Besides, there's one more crucial thing that you need to know. Missing just 1 day of Claritox Pro might compromise weeks of progress. Even though our formula will make you feel better than you felt in ages, I'm not going to lie to you. If you hit the stop button on the detoxifying ingredients of Claritox Pro for just 1 day, it might take weeks or even months to get them working at full capacity again. Until then, the chemicals might multiply and cause harm again. So you might lose some of the benefits. Not going to lie to you. So don't risk running out of Claritox Pro. Please take into account that Claritox Pro is selling incredibly fast. And once it will be sold out, it will take us 6 to 9 months to produce a new batch, as we're willing to accept only the purest ingredients. Otherwise, its efficiency would be compromised. Of course, we're committed to support you in every way that we can. So we're going to let you order a batch of 3 or 6 bottles for a huge discount. You won't be seeing Claritox Pro anywhere in stores, so secure your stocks now at the lowest possible price. Plus, with every order made today, you also get free shipping. Now, how does that sound? Take a look below. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card, debit card, or PayPal. Immediately after you fill your information and confirm your order, your bottles of Claritox Pro will be shipped for free right to your doorstep. If you order the 3 bottles or 6 bottles package, which we recommend, as we estimate we will run out of stocks anytime soon, you'll also take advantage of a huge discount. Just click below to select your package. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. All you need to keep in mind is that Claritox Pro can only be found on this page and is not available for purchase anywhere else. This is your only chance to grab this exclusive formula. Once again, Claritox Pro is selling very fast, and once it will be sold out, it will take us 6 to 9 months to restock the rare ingredients and produce another batch. Please remember that missing 1 day of Claritox Pro can compromise a full month of progress. So if I were to give you just one piece of advice, this would be: don't risk running out of Claritox Pro. Listen, by 2026, it's estimated that the Vertigo medicine market will increase every single month. Add up to that the cost of treatments in case of an injury. No wonder big pharma companies have been mercilessly hunting down anyone who dares make public a natural, easy, alternative solution to their overpriced, useless pills that don't even address the root cause. They can smell where the money is coming from. I'm getting threats almost every day. After all I've been through, risking your family's safety is not something that you can do for a long time, as you can imagine. Please make your choice today while this site is still up. If you're skeptical, we totally understand. You tried a lot of methods, you spent a lot of money, went through so much pain, and nothing worked. I am so confident that Claritox Pro works that I'm going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience any dramatic improvement, or you're not content for any reason whatsoever, we will issue a full refund, no questions asked. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days from your purchase. It doesn't matter if you've used up the entire bottle. We will give you your money back. That means you have 2 whole months to decide if Claritox Pro is for you or not. No hidden fees, no subscriptions, just a safe and secure, one-time, simple. Choose the package you want below. Listen, when you think about it, you really only have 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1, stop following this presentation and leave this page. Do nothing. Keep going the way you are now, fearing every step you take and risking serious injuries. Honestly, you never know which fall will be the one that causes permanent damage, the one that can leave you disabled. Might be the next one. One can never tell. Spending your days worrying all the time or coming up with excuses every time you don't feel well, doing this for months, years, or even decades, it's not going to be pleasant. Option 2, risk nothing at all today. Grab Claritox Pro right now, and you'll be surprised at how well it works and how free you can feel. So just click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and place the order now. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Every order comes with free shipping, no matter where you live. I can't wait for you to experience every single benefit that Claritox Pro has to offer. Still here? Great. I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about Claritox Pro. I just want to make sure you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. Number 1, how and why does Claritox Pro work? Well, Claritox Pro works in a very simple yet powerful way. As the latest scientific research has shown, vertigo is caused by a form of brain poisoning with ototoxins, harmful chemicals found in common medications. For example, if you've ever taken an aspirin, chances are you've come in contact with ototoxins. These toxins get stuck in the body indefinitely because our organism doesn't know how to process them. The internal buildup of toxins leads to brain inflammation and interferes with the brain, ears, eyes coordination, that balance system. This toxin poisoning can also lead to memory loss, tinnitus, permanent hearing loss, etc. Once you detoxify your brain and body, everything will sink in perfect balance. Claritox Pro gathers both modern and ancient ingredients that have the power to quickly clear your brain and body of harmful ototoxins. 2. Is Claritox Pro safe? Well, Claritox Pro has been designed for all ages and medical conditions, addressing the root cause of vertigo and dizziness, the ototoxins hidden in apparently harmless pills, is the most important thing you can do today for long-lasting results now and well into old age. Claritox Pro has high-quality natural ingredients manufactured in an FDA-approved facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Each of the ingredients that goes into Claritox Pro is tested for purity and to ensure against toxins and contaminants. So rest assured, it's safe. As always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of this dropper to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. 3. When should I take Claritox Pro? Well, we recommend you take 2 capsules with a big glass of water in the morning for a powerful, deep toxin cleanse that clears your entire body. Number 4, what if it doesn't work for me? Can you tell me about the guarantee again? Well, the more results we see, the stronger we believe Claritox Pro has the power to completely transform your brain, body, and balance system. It's true, though, that nothing works for 100% of the people who try it, as each body works in its own way. That's why every bottle of Claritox Pro comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If for any reason you aren't fully satisfied with the results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no questions asked refund. Number 5, how long will this supplement be available to the public? Well, I'm not really sure, but history has shown us that Big Pharma is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to remove something that threatens its very existence. After all, it makes sense. Wouldn't you spend $1 million in lawyer costs to protect the billions per year you make? So all you have to do today is click below. Fill in your payment details on our secure order form and submit your order. I can't wait to hear your success story.